Today I'm going to talk about survivalism and prepping and self-reliance. For the last 5,000 years, every man has known the basic skills required for survival. It was day-to-day life for them. They knew how to start fires. Adam and Eve, Jesus Christ, all those biblical characters, you know, they all knew how to start fires. They all knew how to build a shelter. They knew how to hunt. They knew all those things because they did them daily to survive. Maybe not daily for some of it, but they all started fires. They didn't have lighters and things like this. I didn't grow up doing those things. I was not a camper. I was not a Boy Scout. My interest came later in life in obtaining skill sets when I realized that in the last 100 years, my generation has forsaken those skills. Because when I turn on the faucet, I expect water to come out, and I always have. I always expected the supermarkets to be chock full of food, and for me to be able to get a job and go get something to eat from Burger King or whatever with the money I made from the job. Well, I'm starting to realize how delicate the system actually is. I love the system, that's great. God forbid it ever crashes, whatever that looks like. That just looks like what Katrina looked like, short term. Okay, you know, I'm going to want the skill sets I'm going to need to survive. Now let's talk about my philosophy on it. A lot of people, preppers, they amass quantities of items, and they prep by hoarding as much tools and stuff, you know, food, weapons, water filters, these types of things, tents, and all this stuff, in hopes of increasing their chances of survival, and it probably will, and that's good. I like that you do that. Keep doing that. Amassing stuff is good. It's necessary and it's good. But I feel like some people might neglect or might not have thought about starting from the very bottom. What your body actually needs to survive, what you need as far as items to sustain life. So let's talk about it. I believe more in skill sets versus items. And I've got on the table here the 5 basic items that I need for my body to sustain life. For me, this by no means is comprehensive. I'm just saying that if I don't have these items, there's a good chance I'm not going to make it. These items here, if something were to happen, I would hope that I had more than this. I want food stores. I want water filter. I want those things. But my philosophy was to start at the very bottom and then build my way up, learning the skills necessary as I amass the stuff, the devices. So these are the items that I need, and it's kind of bushcrafty. It looks like camping at this from this point, but later we'll add stuff and it won't. I need a cutting tool. Here I have a knife. The knife is useful for starting fires. I can baton wood with this. I can make shelters. I can notch wood with this. I can create most of the stuff that I'm going to need from the wilderness, or if I'm in an urban environment, you know, from maybe structures or construction that's here. But this is a necessary tool for survival. I can process game with this. Everything. Prepare my meals. This is a very necessary tool. I would say this is number one. Okay, if I do not have a cutting utensil, I am probably in deep trouble. Yes, I can flint nap. I can do all those types of things. We can talk about that later. In later videos, we'll probably do some of that stuff. But right now, we're talking about the very basics. Now, your cutting tool, my cutting tool, I'm always going to have a knife. Always, 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 always. Every day I carry a little folding knife. This is a Cold Steel Recon 1. I carry this every day at work, at home, wherever I go, I have this with me. This, in a pinch, probably could do a lot of the things that this can do. It's not as sturdy, it's not as good, but it will do it. With your kit, though, have a fixed blade knife, a good quality fixed blade knife. This is an SE4, and this is a solid knife. It's thick. It's not too large, but big knives, they're good. If I'm going to maybe want to conserve some calories though, maybe a folding saw. This will save me time. This will save me calories. You know, you need to conserve calories in either the wilderness or an urban situation. If you're in a self-reliant or survival situation, food might be scarce. Water might be scarce. You don't want to sweat out all your water. So this is a Baco Laplander saw. I highly recommend this. Basically, pretty much all of these tools on here I highly recommend. And this blows through branches. Great little device. Use it all the time. It feels a little flimsy on the front end, but trust me, after you get to using it, you'll trust this. You'll trust this saw. I trust this saw with my life. A lot of outdoorsy folk do too. Maybe in a colder environment, you're going to want an axe or a hatchet. Here I have a tomahawk. This was made by, who made this for me? Well, I don't remember. But anyway, this is a tomahawk. I use it often, especially in cold weather environments. If it's snowing, your knife might break. Okay, it's just what happens. I've seen it happen. It does happen. Your knife can break in cold weather. This can conserve calories as well. It's easier to chop logs with this or split logs than it is with this. And so this might be something that you might want to think about as far as cutting tool.